Welcome everyone to the Winter Solstice Reading. What a magical, special time of the year, and there's for many reasons. Look at it outside, like the experience of winter. It is a beautiful season to when the snow's out there and it's so crisp, and it's fresh, and it looks like it sparkles. It sparkles like diamonds. It smells so fresh outside, and it just looks like a winter wonderland. And there's a magic there, and going and playing within the snow. Grew up here in Canada building snowmen all the time, and putting the little carrot in the nose and the little button eyes. Always asking mom and dad for a scarf, and how we put it. He always needed a top hat, right? I think Frosty the Snowman was like one of my favorite cartoons growing up. And of course, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, because what a story that is, right? Rock your inner uniqueness, rock your shine, right? Because look at Rudolph, he rocked his shine, and look, he was doing it. And so this is just one of those times too where we also know the season is changing, and there's gifts. There's a pause in winter. There's a great time for reflection. And it very much reminds me of the void. Now we're in the void. We're going to create. What are we going to create now? We can slow down and plant our seeds. What are our seeds? What do we want to harvest? Because we're going to be changing seasons. And what is the winter solstice? It's when the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere, they tilt the farthest away from the sun. And it happens once every 6 months. And we know then there's the summer solstice. And then we have the two equinoxes. This is magical times, magical energy. We already know there's so many things happening. That annular solar eclipse in Capricorn, and how everything has come together just this month alone. We're entering 2020 anew, going for our best lives, creating our abundance. Let's see what's happening. Alright guys, so when I was pulling you closer so you could really see what was going down at this reading, I was called to remove the deck of cards and replace it with this one. We'll get a reshuffle over here. And we'll start the reading, and my dog is going to be snoring in the background because he is really enjoying the pause and reflection time, going within and recouping. And he's a snorer. Okay, so let's just let those cards have a minute, a second, a millisecond. All right, let's see what's happening. And there it is, the Nine of Wands. This is the time we're in. There's the connection to the Sagittarian energy. And we're connected, we know, to the sun and moon arrow. And we're going to take shot, we're going to take aim. We're working on something here that's connected to our light, our twin flame light. And we're also connecting to, I see, other realms. We're connecting with the light. We're actually connecting with the light. Well, I feel though like a worry, maybe a sadness, like something's quite off, but something that's hidden is coming to light in that Nine of Wands. And we have the Knight of Swords with the Ace of Chalices and the Ten of Pentacles, and there it is. Now we're going forth with that sword, our truth, and we know that sword is also connected to the sun and the moon. That's thanks to that Gemini energy. And now we're connecting the wand to the sword. And we're going to act. We're going to act with our thoughts. And it's connected to love and spirit, what's in the cup. And there's two flowers blossoming, and there's the fish There. Swimming upstream. And that's the koi fish that's turning into the dragon. It's going the way that it feels called to go. You know, all the other fish are going one way, and this fish is like, no, I'm not going that way. I don't feel called to go that way. I'm going this way. I'm following my calling. And you know what? When you follow your calling, that's your mission. It's like the universe calls you up and you're like, yo, I'm taking the call. And now I'm going to follow the light. And that's where we experience this great darkness in order to see this great light. And we really, the light starts to expand and expand and expand because we are fueling it. And you see people with their light diminished. You see them. And then, you know, that creates what we don't want to be creating, a lot of sickness, struggling. But if we can keep learning how to fuel our own fire, we can really expand it. And that's what's happening here. There's the 10 of Pentacles. And now we've achieved our abundance. This is what we're setting out to do. So now we're planting our seeds of attention because look, there's the summer solstice. We have the winter and the summer. And this is everything coming together. And look, there's the woodpecker. And that woodpecker's got a message. That's a woodpecker, okay? That woodpecker is saying, we know the energy. That's that healing chaos. And it was the tornado. And everything, there's this tornado that comes in and swipes everything away. But these birds, certain birds like the woodpecker, thrive when the destruction has happened because it creates a more fertile environment. And we've discussed many times, I've shared my story here about I'm so connected to the woodpecker. Every time something is happening in my life where I'm at my lowest to see my greatest piece of light, I've seen a woodpecker or two or three. And, you know, I'll never forget, I was having an argument with a karmic partner and I was having an ending, and this woodpecker was so loud, excuse me, it was trying to go through the concrete brick. And we had to end everything that at that moment in time, just like that. And I walked off, and you know what? I knew that woodpecker was sacred. And when my son has picked up woodpecker feathers and like give them to me and said, Mommy, these are for you. There's been many synchronicities and signs to continue to heal through the chaos. Because we're going to have our best lives through this chaos. We're going to know thy dark and know thy light and know what's right. Let's see. Pooh. And they showed me the Empress. I love it. The Empress. Hello, Empress. And look at that. Seasons change. This is about our harvest. This is about our rebirths. This is about... and the connection to the animals. And you know what? Also the geese. They mate for life. And Canadian geese, you know, I've grown up around those guys. They're incredible. You can tell as well they're sacred. The birds are sacred. There's very many sacred messages that we're receiving today because this is such a sacred time. This is a blessing. And this is definitely... it's about our fertility, about how whatever is happening in our lives right now is creating a more fertile environment within and without. And here is the King of Wands. The King of Wands is sitting right here. Alrighty. Let's see what's hidden is coming to light right here in this Nine of Wands. That's where things shift and change. I feel the presence of the Seven of Swords in here, the trickery that we're healing from, the deception. But we know that we're ending the conflict within and we're creating peace on the path of the moon. Because peace is what allows patience. And then We can slow down, pause, and reflect once again to the gifts. The Green Woman, and there it is. And when we slow down and allow patience, and it really allows us to cultivate meditation. And we are going to be doing an episode on meditation because many people have reached out and asked me to discuss this here. So stay tuned. Future episode. Now, let's get the message of this Green Woman, because she has a message for us. Flipped right to the page. Love it. Triple confirmation. The position on the wheel, the Green Woman stands at the midsummer solstice on June 21st. Its element is fire, and it is associated with noon. She is the earthly manifestation of female solar energy. And that's what we're doing. We're manifesting. We're manifesting with our female solar energy. We're expanding. The Green Woman, crowned with ferns and wild roses, breathes the divine word of life. Her calm, serene expression is steady and full of graceful sovereignty. Now, around her neck is a golden Celtic cross. The golden amber cup before her has within the milk of love and nurturing. And she represents the life force of all women, symbolizing the forest at midsummer. Here, amid the luxuriant foliage, small animals as well as birds of the wildwood live and build their homes. And this creates a whole ecosystem within the branches that are safe for the haven of the innocent and the vulnerable beneath its roots. And she represents and encompasses the female archetype of wildness and green energy. Her presence balances that of the wild man. That would be her counterpart, the emperor. She also represents the goddess of the land, sometimes expressed as one who challenges all comers to brave her test, to offer to those who succeed the gifts of inner kinship and love, and depending upon bonds to the riches or to the earth. From her heart pours the glorious light of the midsummer sun, blessing everything it touches with life and boundless energy. And she appears in a time of nurturing and protection. And we just discussed that what we're doing right now directly correlates to the summer solstice and our harvesting. And there's the connection. We really need to allow that to be the generous charge, the positive charge. Like, okay, yes, I may be going through this extreme right now or this situation, but I am going to do all this work in order to harvest and to keep going in order to harvest. It's beautiful. Alrighty, let's see what's being activated. What's being activated? This is beautiful. What a beautiful reading. Okay. This has to do with our ancestors, our DNA karma, and we are shape-shifting with the clouds. This is the rainbow serpent, and it's connected to our ancestors and understanding that we're always connected to our ancestors' energy. We're connected to them through our lineage. And it's just remember it too, like they're a reflection of us. Literally, like look at how we look like our parents, right? We look like our cousins, our ancestors. And just that their energy is left here and we can call on it in order to help us with this transformation, this shape-shifting, because this card discusses shape-shifting and how we're going to do this process. So we call on them and we understand that they're here and we can go within our universe, and we can just get in meditation and we can call on them for what we need, to do, what we need to heal with on our path, and just a remembrance of that and a believing, because you have to believe first and foremost. Believe and then trust. The message of this card is very important. Karma, a concept implying the greater universal laws of the cause and effect, providing an implied code of ethics within the structure of the seemingly endless cycles of birth, death, and rebirth, which we experience throughout our lives. In many different versions, the mistaken notion about karma is that it's some kind of punishment. But it's far from that. In fact, in its purest form, it simply asserts that our conduct in this lifetime will determine our next incarnation. It has also come to mean how our behavior and actions in this lifetime create consequences in a slightly different version of the golden rule. We not only carry our soul's karma into this lifetime, but also embedded in the complex coding of our DNA is our genetic ancestral karma. The double helix structure of DNA contains codes that have been passed down from our parents and grandparents, as well as our ancestors. Therefore, we have some of the same genetic information that comes from the DNA of very early humans. In this card, we see two intertwined serpents with double helixes on either side. Variations of this archetypical image exist in many cultures, both traditional and contemporary. Now, it's a graphic representation of our ancient ancestry we can lay claim to. Our DNA, the fundamental substance of life itself that provides substantial determination of our life path. And this is truth. We balance our karmic scales. We start anew. We get on our path to our best abundance, our best lives, our 10 of cups, our 10 of pentacles. And we allow shape-shifting. We allow transformation. And we know that our ancestors have suffered long enough. It's time for change. And we call on those energies, and we understand there's another greater charge of the light, why we're transforming. We're ending the suffering because we're creating holistic healing and health. And environments from within to without that allow us to do so. And we're going to raise the vibes. We're going to raise the vibes of the collective. We're going to shape shift things around here. But we got to hang tight and remember, this is a transformation. And we are connected. This is, once again, too, we switch back to mission work. Aspects of your soul entered your primitive physical self long before you had begun to take form. While the DNA that you inherited from your biological parents has a physical component, it also has a soul pattern that you came together in the creation of you. You are predisposed to follow the karmic dictates of this patterning to some extent, but we're breaking karmic patterning. Yet, as you evolve in your consciousness and expand the light of awareness, you can make choices that shift and modify this ancestral design. It's one of those times right now. You can feel the tug of your soul that is both ancient and karmic, yet you also realize the persistent and loving communication from your higher self that contradicts the more familiar solutions before you. The choice is up to you, but know that every time you heed the guidance of your higher self, no matter what etheric or physical form it takes, human consciousness is elevated. In a sense, it becomes a choice between destiny and fate. And that's what we're doing. That's what's going down around here. That's what's happening. This is our destiny. This is our fate. And it's our birthright. It's our divine inheritance. We are solar children of the light. And we're activated. We're activated through us. And we're changing things up around here. Because we have to build with our light. The darkness has consumed too much. Let's shapeshift. Let's do some shape shifting. And these are our dream clouds. These are our dream clouds that we are shape-shifting into form. Because we know now we have done all this work. So when we call on the angels in order to manifest our emotions, we have the generous charge, the light. When tiny droplets of water or frozen crystals are surrounded by billions of other droplets or crystals, a cloud is formed. Each of these tiny droplets diffuse and scatter light so that the tops of clouds are white, then fade to gray towards the base. The nature of cloud formation affects our mood, as well as the temperature on the ground and in the air. Their shape and movement and coloration, and that ain't that the truth, tells us what weather to expect in the near future. And they nourish our visual hunger during breathtaking sunrises and sunsets. And this is truth. You know, I just even had someone within my my just life ask me again, like, Nicole, how do you meditate? Talk to me. And you know, one of my biggest things I do for meditation, the sky. I just get lost in the sky. And I'm meditating just like that. And guys, this can help us. This can help us understand. I really tried to cultivate a relationship with the sky. It's been so important to me my whole entire life, and I've always felt called to be in touch and in tune with the sky. Most of us have had an opportunity at one time or another to notice the shapes and forms clouds take as they drift gently or boldly across the sky, constantly shifting and changing, adjusting themselves to the requirements of their nature. When we take time to simply observe, we can see the cloud people images that are elegant collaboration between nature and our imagination. What an activation right there. Wow, we're really shape-shifting there. This is manifestation at its best. In both subtle and more dramatic ways, you can shapeshift by your choice of clothing, hairstyle, even mannerisms, facial expressions, gestures, just by even your attitude. You can actually display different personas. And you can experiment with this to allow you to see what you want to do to raise your vibration. And you know, that's even what I do. I notice, like, I don't want to scowl. I don't want to get scowl jaw. So I'm always trying to smile. You know what is, when I try to smile, I feel better. I really actually feel better. And I'd rather get like dimples and lines here from smiling than like frowning and scowl jaw. So, and it really does change your mood. Okay. Alrighty, let's get our message, because we know we're connecting the heavens to the earth. And there, I wanted to get a crystal message because we are going to be having a crystal special here soon. I went to a crystal expo when I first started off, and we're going to finally share that, and we're going to get a reading. It'll be a current reading though. Okay. Now, this is rhodozite, mighty power. And that's what it's connected to, mighty power. It's zingy and is excellent for removing blockages, for adding vitality to the physical body. It cleanses, activates, and powers up all of the chakras and harmonizes the etheric bodies. This crystal encourages the flow of Kundalini energy to all the cells and the spaces between them. Well, I'm going to get myself one of these today. That's it. I know what I'm doing when I'm done here, and it sounds like a magical time to go get one of these crystals. Self-understanding. From your past lives or emotional wounds from earlier in your present life may be creating a state of disease. Your own negative or compulsive thought patterns also play a part, as you can choose those of other people directed towards you. So this is other people within our lives. Like, we don't want to take on their thought patterns. We're taking on our own. We're changing things up around here. We're mastering thyself. Now, what we want to do here is check out the harmony or lack of it in our environments. Earth energies may be disturbing your well-being. The ground around your workplace and your home may need healing and stabilizing by planting subtle crystals in the earth. Well, I can't help but chuckle. We know what's going down, right? We know what's happening around here. It's the Capricorn energy, and we're going to transform from the devil energies. It's time. And we're going to take off that other layer of the negative energies within our lives in order to, that's adding that greater positive charge. And then our flame is really expanding. We're getting closer to our 10 of Pentacles as we create our 10 of Cups. And the healing insight is living a healthy, stable environment creates a stable physical body. And that's truth. We know that people, environments, like, they affect them. You can see a person that's living in a healthy environment versus one that's not. It's like night and day. And that's what we're doing around here. We're shape-shifting things up because the golden ages allow everyone to be in a healthy environment that creates holistic health. That's what we're doing to stabilize and evolve humanity. We have to hold tight and just remember things are shape-shifting. We're the bridge from the dark to the light, from the old to the new. But we're in flow, we're in creation. We're connected to spirit, source, and we understand we got to give things time to manifest. And this is connected to the Earth star, solar plexus, and casual vortex. Its timing is in autumn, and it's healing the Earth. And its frequency is earthy and high. What a beautiful reading. What a beautiful time. What a beautiful seeds we will plant now. And we're going to talk intentions and making wishes and what that looks like. I really want to do that for this annular solar eclipse. And I have got a moon journal that I write down my moon intentions with, my wishes, and what I'm going to do to achieve them, or just draw pictures. A lot of time I'm visual, so I draw pictures. And that's part of the manifestation process. It's helpful to visualize, to write things out, to draw, to like create. It's all creation. Like, the more we're in creation, the more we're in touch with the oneness, the more we're transmuting, we're raising the vibes, we're painting the picture around here. We're shape-shifting. We're shape-shifting our dream clouds. I want to thank you guys for joining me here. Much love and healing vibes sent your way to create with today.